And coming up next is Brawling News number 147. It's going to be an all wrestling edition of Brawling News. We're going to talk about Austin Aries and the horrible, horrible thing he did to Christy Hemi's face during a show. We're also going to talk about Antonio Cesario and why WWE is having so much trouble figuring out what to do with him. We're going to talk about cuts over at the WWE, but don't worry, a bunch of people are getting cut, but even more people are getting hired. And we're going to wrap it all up with Just Incredible. What the hell's he been up to? We're going to let you know. All that and more coming right up. Here at Alternate Reality, heroes are the cornerstone of our business, which is why we have a Hero of the Month sale. Every month, we take one hero and we discount our entire stock of their trade paperbacks 25% off all month long. That's right, for 30 days, you can save 25% off any of that month's selected Hero of the Month trade paperbacks. And that's only here, where your money works harder. Alternate Reality.
It used to be Frightened Wrestling. Now it's all just Brawling News. Whatever.
It's this or a documentary on spring butterflies. By the way, they aren't as tasty as the name implies. Brawling News, episode 147, Crisis on Infinite Toilets.
Hey folks, Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video outhouse. Bo?
Yes, it's Brawling News time, kids.
Brawling News, coming to you from this place, not Alternate Reality. This is the old location of Friendly Frank's Comics. 119th and Cicero in Alsip, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. We're really not all that far away from Alternate Reality right now, where it is right now. But this is one of the pilgrimage sites. If you were one of the comic book fans that bought comics from the mid-'80s through the mid-'90s, this was probably one of the places you stopped along the way to get your free comics. Good old JR used to work here, along with some other folks. And Friendly Frank's went out of business back in the late 80s. Frank's doing fine, though. He's located in Kansas City. If you ever run into him, say hi to him for me. But we're here today, coming to you from Alternate Reality, which is way over there somewhere, located in the intersection of 111th and Kedzie, beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood. Alternate Reality, where all my new comics are always 15% off every day for everyone. Bo,
Yes.
what did TNA Austin Aries do that was so stupid? I heard he did something that was untoward towards good sweet girl Christy Hemi.
Christy Hemi introduced Austin Aries and Bobby Roode. Well, she was supposed to announce Austin Aries and Bobby Roode wrestling as a tag team. She screwed up the intro. So Aries came out, got really annoyed about the fact that she screwed up his intro.
Okay.
Got up on the second rope and had his crotch in her face, which she found a little uncomfortable.
Even for wrestling, that's fairly classless unless you worked it out ahead of time.
So she went backstage. She was a little upset. He got jumped on this, reported online by Mark Madden, who used to work for WCW. He has apologized for doing this. He also paid a significant fine, according to TMZ. Even though the night after it happened, he was joking about it. Said, well, I gotta get my nuts cleaned.
What's the fine?
Oh, that's lovely.
What's the fine for crotch coverage?
I think it had to be about $2,000.
Wow.
It could have been $2,000.
Well, what is the problem with Antonio Cesario? What is the problem with the handling of this guy?
There's nothing wrong with Antonio Cesaro.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Some of the WWE hierarchy think he's boring, and then some think he should be heavily pushed because he's one of the best workers, and the wrestlers all love him because he's professional.
Yeah.
He doesn't get into trouble.
Right.
He shows up. He can work any style at all, and so
Sounds great.
the wrestlers are getting kind of annoyed about it. CM Punk specifically, one of the reasons he was kicked off the WWE, he says Cesaro should be pushed through the roof because he's one of the best workers you've got.
So what, creative can't come up with an angle for him? They can't come up with a way to work him?
Creative in an angle for him, the whole Swiss thing was cool. Then he came up with a dumbass yodeling gimmick, which he dropped. It's like, people from Switzerland don't yodel, most 9 times out of 10.
They don't?
No.
Ricola!
No.
How about having
Dumb.
the clock fixer?
He eats a lot of chocolate, but that's
The
his own.
chocolate eater.
Well, I was sitting on the crapper the other night and I was thinking to myself, what is Just Incredible up to? It couldn't come to me. What's he been up to?
Peter Polacco, otherwise known as Aldo Montoya. Remember the guy wrestled with the bag over his face?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, former ECW, former WWE star, Just Incredible. He was recently arrested in Connecticut on charges of third-degree forgery and sixth-degree larceny. The problem with all this was the charges were 2 years old. It was about his dad giving him permission to cash a check, and then the place he cashed it to went, I don't know if you were able to do this, and so he went to the police station on his own, and he told them the story, and the police went, go on, get out of here. Justin, by the way,
we're wasting our time.
Justin also
we got real crime to worry about.
He also said that he's been clean and sober for 6 months.
So the cops are investigating who stole the donuts instead, right?
Well, they'll get to the bottom to it.
Just Incredible's really weird. He's a guy who was a big wrestling star. He went around, and then he ended up working at a Target after he left wrestling for a while.
I don't understand that at all. Justin Credible was a good wrestler.
Yeah,
and he carved a little niche for himself out in WCW, or WWE, I'm sorry.
Well,
and of course ECW.
Specifically ECW, he was huge in ECW.
Yeah.
The problem with the WWE was he was Aldo Montero, the guy with the sock over his head.
Okay. If this was a comic book update, we'd be talking about a canceled comics cavalcade, but it's not, so we're going to talk about cut wrestlers. Who's been cut?
WWE cut 7 developmental wrestlers.
7.
Derek Bateman, who was on season 2 of NXT.
Okay.
Sakamoto, who was remember the little guy that always walked out with Tenzai?
No.
And he was a little guy. He would go Tenzai. He was a little servant.
Was he a midget?
He was a Japanese
Well,
guy.
a little person.
No, he was about 5'5".
Oh, okay. Well, I thought it might have been like
no.
Like what's his face? The leprechaun.
No.
Okay.
Ashley Miller, Nick Nemeth, who is the younger brother of Dolph Ziggler, who actually was more looked upon as a guy who did announcing than anything else. Female wrestler Anya, Percy Watson, who was also on NXT season T, and Brandon Traver. Now, they're cutting 7 developmental wrestlers, but they just announced.
So they have spots on their roster.
They're going to hire at least 30 independent wrestlers because in Florida they're opening up a performance training center, which is going to have about 6 wrestling rings, TV studios, places for them to work out, gym to hold 9 yards, and so they got rid of these 7, but they're more or less going to load up on wrestlers from other promotions, including a lot of guys from Ring of Honor who basically in about a week from now will be working for the WWE.
Okay.
So Triple H is big on the concept of developmental, and he's picking up all these independent guys. But these guys just couldn't cut it.
We should go there and try it out. We could be the decrepits.
We could be the old guys.
There you go. We could be the old farts. We could be the old farts. So he's dropping 7, and he's picking up 30, so it gives him a net of 23.
Yeah, he's picking up about
23. Okay, that's it. We're done. We're finished out of here. Got no more Brawling news. Go to the store's website. Check out all the Brawling news this man sends me that I post up there. Bo!
Yeah.
They don't know where the website is.
Tell them, cosplay girl.
We waited as long as we could, Comic Book Man, but we started without you. MyAlternateReality.com.
Go to the store's website, check out all his news. Till next time, this is Comic Book Man.
And this is Bo saying, I was cut too, but I just kept hanging around. I didn't have a contract.
And we're saying goodbye to Friendly Frank's Comics. Frank, I hope you're doing okay out in Kansas City. You take care. Bye.
The Video Outhouse is brought to you by some of the finest people willing to work for free. This is a list of some of them.